Joining us this morning is late Senator Dan Inouye's son, Ken Inouye. Thanks, Ken, for being here.
Wonderful to be here.
We're going to be talking about the future of the Dan Inouye Center that's going to be at the University of Hawaii. You know, I mean, this is something that's obviously very dear to your family's heart. And I would imagine that you are just anxious for this to come forward. How's it going so far? Where are we at with this?
Well, in large part, that's one of the big reasons why I'm here in Hawaii right now. You know, to see where things are at and such. One of the more recent developments that I'm aware of is that the remainder of some 1,200 boxes worth of papers, memorabilia, personal effects, and whatnot have apparently arrived in Hawaii, I guess, about a week ago.
Wow.
And they are in the process of getting fumigated before they can be brought into the university.
Is this an interesting process to learn about? Like all the things that have to happen to bring everything together into this one spot. Your dad had quite the legacy.
It is fascinating, but I'll be honest with you, the most fascinating part of this process isn't even so much the sheer logistics, which are formidable on a project of this scale. But to me, the really fascinating part of this, and the part that I really think will help, have a big payoff for the people of the state of Hawaii as well as around the country, is just how much sheer information and just cultural data, and it's, you know, there is within his effects. I mean, when we were going through his stuff, you know, to pack it after he passed, and I wasn't even there for the real bulk of it, but I tried to be there as much as I could. It literally was walking into a museum on the history of Hawaii once it became a state, as well as shortly before it became a state.
I was going to say there must be an awful lot that you learned, not only about what he went through, but about your dad personally. It must have been a lot to learn.
Oh yeah, because and especially so because our family had a policy of you never talked about work once he got home unless he brought it up, because the concept there was that home was a sanctuary separate and discrete from work. You know, my family wanted to make it such that when he went home, he could count on that being where he would get his balance, as opposed to just being 24/7 with work. So as a result, I didn't really get, you know, I really wasn't brought up to date on a lot of what he was doing. You know, the moment he got home from work, he was always, "How was school? What are you up to?
Well, that's great. That just...
Your mother has told me some very disturbing things about your behavior." You know, that sort of thing. I mean, it was very much a typical family scene.
Well, I'll tell you, I know we did a story with you not too long ago, talking a little bit more about your experiences with your dad. I wish we could, but we're going to make sure we include a link to that story that we did too, because that was a fun discussion we had with you as well. So thank you, Ken, for joining us. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing that center move forward as well. Thanks,
Thank
Ken.
you.
All right, coming up.